Hey everyone, it's your old pal Brian Hunt, and welcome to episode number 11 of 60 Seconds of Risk. Once again, coming to you from beautiful Austin, Texas on a gorgeous day. As you remember from last episode, we talked about the concept of your property coverage, and specifically whether or not you had ACV, actual cash value, or replacement value. And so hopefully you took that information and thought long and hard about your coverage and making sure you've got the actual coverage you want. But let's take it a next step and figure out, okay, now you've got your house insured and you've got the value or the coverage you want, and then tomorrow your house becomes a smoking hole in the ground. Fire, earthquake, asteroid comes from the sky, destroys your house, everything's gone. So now the question is, how are you going to prove your claim? Because think about it from this point. You've decided to place coverage on your house for either $500,000 in the contents of, say, $250,000. And let's talk specifically about contents. Just because you have, say, coverage up to, say, $250,000 for the contents of your house does not mean you're going to get an automatic check from the carrier for $250,000. Like all things, you've got to prove it. And think about it from the perspective of the claims adjuster at the carrier. His job is to actually prove the claim and be fair, but you've got to make his life a lot easier. Now, how do you do that? Provide documentation supporting what you're trying to claim. Now, how do you do that? Let's think about it. Let's assume tomorrow your house is a smoking hole of ground, as we talked about. How are you going to prove that the contents are this and that and of this value? Well, here's one thing I would highly recommend you guys do. And for everybody who's under the age of 30, you may not know this, but this is an old-fashioned digital camera. Also, you can use your cell phone. What I'd highly recommend is that you go to every single room in your house, go to every corner, and take a shot of the contents of every room from a different angle inside your house. Don't just use your rooms. Go to your closets, take photos. Go to the hallways, take photos. Go to the outside and take photos of your house from every different angle, and specifically think about your shrubs, your greenery, your plants, but also any outdoor patio furniture, any built-in pool, any sort of built-in outdoor kitchen. You want to have documentation of a photo perspective every single thing in your house, because when you're trying to prove what you have in your house, you need to have some documentation, and photos is a great way to do it. Second thing is if you get a large purchase of, say, maybe $500 to $1,000, it'd be very beneficial to have photocopies of those receipts. Now, everything less than $500 would kind of take a lot of volume, may not be worth it. But again, anything from $500 to $1,000 in value, it would make a whole lot of sense to take specific photos of that receipts or scan those copies of the receipts. So then, fantastic. Now you got all these digital copies, you got all these scanned receipts, you got proof of your actual purchases that you can prove to the carrier and the adjuster, here's what the value should be on this property, or even equipment if you're talking about your business. But here's the problem. If you store that on, say, the computer in your house or your filing cabinet in your house, and that's the only copy, well, what are you going to do when your house burns to the ground and also the computer is damaged or the files are burnt to the ground? You need to have copies of that photos and the receipts stored off-site or accessible someplace remotely. A couple of different options. You can take those images and you can take those photos and you can put on a share drive, like maybe a Dropbox or Google's Drive, and have those remotely so you can access if something goes wrong. Another option is put it, say, on a hard drive or specifically maybe a flash drive, and put that in a vault inside your house, and if it's hopefully fireproof to a certain rated, it'll protect and be there when you need it. Now, you might also want to take that drive and put it in this waterproof type bag, because the firefighters hopefully do their job. They're spraying down the water everywhere. If you don't have a watertight seal on your safe, good chance the water is going to come inside your safe and compromise everything, including your flash drive with all your photos. So another option is having that flash drive stored off-site. For me, I have a safe deposit box at a bank. It's about 8 miles from my home. With the concept thinking of mitigation, pretty good chance that if my house gets destroyed, the same event is not going to destroy my bank, and specifically the safe deposit box inside a safe. So for me, I keep photos and important documents stored off-site at the safe deposit box, which again is a very far distance from my current house. So the whole point is, though, if by chance you've got to prove to the carrier what you've lost and you want to get a check for that, make their job as easy as possible. Provide them photos of all your contents, of all your equipment, your personal items, from every different angle in your house, Provide that as part of your proof of your claim. And again, if you've got receipts that you can prove of, say, 500 to 1,000 above, keep those in a separate area. Again, scanning would be a fantastic idea. Put it on a flash drive or put it on a Dropbox or share drive kind of situation. Again, think about it from the purpose of the adjuster. He's got to prove to his boss what the value of this personal item, television, sofa, whatever the case may be. He's got to prove it and get a write-off of his boss to send you that check. Make the adjuster's job as simple and as easy as possible, providing proper documentation. So I hope you found this episode very useful. Again, please leave any comments or suggestions of people you want to have me interview or things to address on my LinkedIn. Again, you can also subscribe to this on YouTube and also see my posts on Twitter. Now, this being Easter weekend, I'm going to have a little Easter egg for everybody who stayed to the very end of this. If you would like to go to the Stars game this Saturday with me, I would love to have you, but you must send me a message through LinkedIn saying you've seen this and you want to go to the Stars game. And based upon how many people I get to enter, I'll draw the name and I'll let you know Saturday morning. So if you like the Stars, I'd love to see you with me. Bye, everybody.